Right now, millions of Americans are just one power grid failure away from complete chaos, and most have no idea how unprepared they really are. If you think having a generator in your garage or a few power banks makes you ready for an extended blackout, you're about to discover some uncomfortable truths that could save your family's life. In the next few minutes, you're going to learn exactly how to calculate your real power needs during an outage, which appliances you should prioritize when the lights go out, and the backup power solutions that actually work when everything else fails. More importantly, I'm going to show you the critical mistakes that 90% of preppers make. Mistakes that turn their backup plans into expensive paperweights when they need them most. Welcome to Food Fixer, where we help you prepare for anything life throws your way. If you want to become truly self-reliant and protect your family's future, hit that like button and subscribe, because what you're about to learn could be the difference between surviving and thriving when the grid goes down. Let's start with a hard truth that most people refuse to face. Having backup power equipment sitting in your garage doesn't make you prepared. It makes you feel prepared, and that false confidence can be deadly. The biggest mistake preppers make isn't buying the wrong equipment. It's failing to create a realistic plan for how that equipment will actually sustain them during an extended outage. Think about this. When was the last time you sat down and calculated exactly how much power your household consumes in a typical day? Not your monthly electric bill, your actual hourly consumption broken down by device. Most people have no idea, and that ignorance becomes dangerous when the grid fails and every watt-hour counts. Here's what happens in the real world. A storm knocks out power, and family pamaitans as fire up their backup generators feeling confident they're covered. Within 12 hours, they realize their fuel is disappearing faster than expected. Within 24 hours, they're rationing power like it's wartime. Within 48 hours, they're sitting in the dark wondering where their plan went wrong. The problem wasn't their equipment. It was their unrealistic expectations about how long that equipment would actually sustain them. Extended blackouts aren't theoretical anymore. Texas faced week-long outages during Winter Storm Uri. Puerto Rico dealt with months without reliable power after Hurricane Maria. California regularly implements rolling blackouts during fire season. These aren't once-in-a-lifetime events. They're becoming the new normal, and your backup power strategy needs to reflect that reality. To create a plan that actually works, you need to start with honest math. Get yourself a watt meter. They cost about $20, and they'll teach you more about your energy consumption than years of guessing ever could. Plug every device in your house into that meter and document exactly how many watts each one draws during normal operation. Your refrigerator might say 300 watts on the label, but it cycles on and off throughout the day. Your LED lights might only draw 10 watts each, but you probably have dozens of them. Your television, your coffee maker, your phone chargers, your internet router, every single device needs to be measured and documented because in a grid-down situation, you can't afford surprises. Once you have those numbers, multiply them by the hours each device runs daily, then add them up. That's your baseline daily consumption in watt hours. Now here's the reality check. Whatever backup system you think will handle that load probably won't, at least not for as long as you imagine. Duration changes everything about your power strategy. A 4-hour outage calls for completely different solutions than a 4-day outage, which requires entirely different planning than a 4-week scenario. Most people prepare for short-term disruptions and assume they can just stretch those solutions longer. That's like planning a weekend camping trip and assuming the same gear will work for a month in the wilderness. For outages lasting hours, you can rely on battery banks, flashlights, and maybe a small generator to keep critical devices running. For outages lasting days, you need to add fuel reserves, alternative cooking methods, and a clear priority system for what gets power and what doesn't. For outages lasting weeks or longer, you need to completely rethink how you live, focusing on low-energy alternatives and sustainable power sources. The math gets brutal quickly. A typical American household uses about 30 kilowatt-hours per day. Even a large portable power station like the EcoFlow Delta Pro, which costs over $3,000, stores only 3.6 kilowatt-hours. That means it would power an average home for less than 3 hours, assuming you're running everything normally, which you obviously can't afford to do. This is where prioritization becomes a matter of survival, not convenience. When power is limited, every device in your house falls into one of 3 categories: essentials that could mean life or death, necessities that maintain health and safety, and conveniences that you'll have to sacrifice. Your first priority has to be life and safety. This means lighting that actually works for extended periods, not the flashlights that eat batteries in hours, but LED lanterns with replaceable batteries or solar charging capability. If anyone in your household depends on medical equipment like CPAP machines, oxygen concentrators, or medication refrigeration, those devices get first claim on your power budget, period. Communication comes next. Your cell phone might be your lifeline to emergency services or family members. Your weather radio might provide critical updates about when power restoration is expected. These devices don't draw much power, but they're absolutely essential, so make sure you can keep them charged. Your second tier includes the necessities that keep you healthy and safe, but won't immediately kill you if they fail. Food preservation is huge here. Your refrigerator and freezer probably represent hundreds of dollars worth of food, and losing that food during an extended outage compounds your problems dramatically. But here's something most people don't consider. You don't need to keep your regular refrigerator running to preserve food. A standard refrigerator draws 300 to 800 watts when the compressor is running. A DC refrigerator designed for RVs or boats draws 50 to 100 watts for the same cooling capacity. Switching to a DC unit during an outage can triple or quadruple how long your backup power lasts. Size. Heating and cooling also fall into this necessity category, but your approach depends entirely on the season and your location. In winter, heating can be life-threatening if it fails. In summer, cooling might be critical for elderly family members or people with certain medical conditions. But both heating and cooling are massive power consumers, so you need alternatives that don't rely on electricity. For heating, consider propane or kerosene heaters rated for indoor use. For cooling, think about ways to create comfortable spaces without air conditioning. Fans use much less power than AC units, and proper ventilation can make a huge difference. The goal isn't to maintain your normal comfort level, it's to maintain safety and health with minimal power consumption. Water access is another necessity that people often overlook. If you have a well, your pump probably requires significant power to operate. If you're on city water, the pressure might fail when the treatment plants lose power. Having stored water is important, but if your outage extends beyond a few days, you need sustainable ways to access and purify water that don't depend on high-power equipment. The third tier includes everything else, the conveniences that make life comfortable but aren't essential for survival. Your entertainment system, your dishwasher, your washing machine, most small kitchen appliances, these are luxuries when power is scarce. Learning to live without them temporarily isn't just smart, it's necessary if you want your backup power to last. This prioritization isn't theoretical. You need to make these decisions before the power goes out, not while you're stressed and working in the dark. Create a written list of what gets power in what order, and make sure everyone in your household understands the priorities. Now let's talk about the backup power solutions that actually work for extended outages. The key is matching your solution to your realistic needs, not your wishful thinking about maintaining your normal lifestyle. Low-energy alternatives should be your first line of defense. Instead of trying to power your regular appliances with expensive backup systems, invest in appliances specifically designed for low power consumption. That DC refrigerator I mentioned earlier isn't just more efficient, it's also designed to run on 12-volt systems that are much easier to power with solar panels or car batteries. LED lighting systems can provide excellent illumination while drawing a fraction of the power of traditional bulbs. A good LED lantern might run for 20 hours on a charge, compared to a few hours for an incandescent flashlight. Battery-powered LED string lights can illuminate entire rooms while consuming less power than a single traditional bulb. For cooking, forget about trying to power your electric stove or microwave during an outage. A portable butane stove uses fuel canisters and provides precise heat control without any electricity. A wood-burning rocket stove can cook meals and boil water using nothing but small sticks and biomass. Even a simple alcohol stove made from aluminum cans can handle basic cooking needs with fuel that stores indefinitely. When you do invest in backup power generation, size your system realistically. A small, quiet inverter generator that produces 2,000 watts might serve you better than a loud 5,000-watt unit that burns through fuel quickly and announces to the entire neighborhood that you have power when they don't. Transfer switches are worth considering if you own your home and want the ability to power essential circuits during an outage. A manual transfer switch lets you connect a generator to your home's electrical panel safely, powering selected circuits throughout the house instead of just running extension cords to individual devices. This setup costs more upfront but provides much more convenience and safety during extended outages. Large power stations like the EcoFlow Delta series offer the convenience of silent operation and indoor safety, but they're expensive and have limited capacity. Think of them as bridges to get you through short outages or to power essential devices while your generator is off. They're tools in your backup system, not complete solutions by themselves. The real secret to extended outage survival isn't having the biggest generator or the most expensive power station. It's having a complete strategy that includes low-energy alternatives, multiple backup options, and realistic expectations about what you can actually sustain. Your Lights Out kit should include supplies for short-term outages when generators might not be necessary or practical. Battery-powered LED lanterns, plenty of spare batteries, candles with safe holders, and annual can openers for when your electric one won't work. Include no-cook food options like peanut butter, crackers, canned fruits, and protein bars that don't require refrigeration or heating. Alternative cooking methods deserve special attention. A camping stove with extra fuel canisters, a manual can opener, disposable plates, and utensils to save water. These simple items can maintain your family's nutrition when the power grid fails. Don't forget a manual can opener. It's embarrassing how many prepared families have canned food, but no way to open it when their electric opener won't work. Battery banks and portable phone chargers ensure you can maintain communication even when power is scarce. Solar phone chargers can extend your communication capability indefinitely as long as you have some sunlight. Hand-crank radios provide news and emergency information without draining precious battery reserves. The key to all of this is redundancy. One backup method might fail. Two might not be enough. Having multiple ways to accomplish essential tasks, lighting, cooking, communication, food preservation, means that when one system fails, you're not left helpless. Remember, the goal isn't to maintain your normal lifestyle during a power outage. The goal is to maintain safety, health, and basic comfort while consuming as little power as possible. Every watt-hour you save extends how long your backup systems will sustain you. Start by measuring your actual power consumption. Identify what's essential versus what's convenient. Invest in low-energy alternatives before spending money on bigger generators. Create realistic plans for different outage durations. And most importantly, test your systems regularly so you know they'll work when you need them. The next time the lights go out, you'll know exactly how long your power will really last. And more importantly, you'll have a plan to make it last as long as necessary. If this helped you think differently about backup power, hit that like button and subscribe for more practical preparedness content. What's your biggest concern about extended power outages? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.